Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm showing you right here these paper trimmers or paper tearers that I never used, and I've had them for some time now, and you can tell that I still don't even use them because I'm now using my Tim Holtz ruler to tear the paper, and I've just shown you how I am trying to angle that paper. Two, I wanted to make something different. I'm going for a pocket here. So, and you can tell it's a little bit off, but that's okay. Um, so I'm just trying to do a little bit something different here. I'm creating a pocket, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to create that pocket. I don't want just a regular pocket. As I was saying, I was trying to do something a little bit different. And that's okay. It's okay to try different things every now and again, because that's how you find new techniques and new things that you like, new embellishments. And so that's what I was doing. So I want my pocket, instead of just a regular cut, I've cut this triangle and I've inverted it, and I'm going to use that as a template to make my cut, because I want it to show this way. You'll see what I'm saying as I finish cutting this out. These are Tim Holtz scissors. I love these scissors. I had to buy a second set because I messed up my first ones when I accidentally, or not accidentally, but I used them on fabric, and so that messed those up. I still keep them, but yeah. So I'm just tracing out that pocket here on this paper so that I can have, that's what I'm going to cover this pocket with. And so as you can tell, yes, I'm trying a voiceover for the first time, and we'll see how that plays out. So, yeah, so I've laid this pocket down, and now I'm going to use just a permanent marker to trace around everything. That's what I've been doing lately. Instead of, it's easier than using your distress brush or whatever you're going to use. I just prefer to have that marker. And if you have other markers as well, you can use those. I don't really want to waste a Copic marker on tracing around all of that. They're a little bit too expensive to do that for, but these permanent markers are fairly cheap. And here I'm just showing you how to make a tag the old, well, I guess you can say the old-fashioned way, or another way to make this tag. Just cut out one side of it, use that as your template, flip it one time, and you'll have your tag there. But as I was looking at this, you guys, it looked kind of like a coffin to me, so that's why I set that to the side. I didn't want to do that. That looked a little strange to me. So here, this is what I do. I jump around quite a lot. So I'm trying to figure out those papers. I want to add those papers right there, but I didn't want that paper beside the main signature with the lady at the panel at the top with her fellow. So I decided to use this plain music paper, and that's what's going to be the first page in my little booklet here. But so right now I am just trimming it down to the right size, pulling out this big trimmer, and yeah, trimming all of that down. So I had to take a couple of passes because I'm not actually measuring everything out correctly, I guess, apparently. So I'm setting it back in, and I have to, yes, I'm closing the booklet again to make sure that everything is fitting nice and snugly. You don't want to go through all the trouble of having everything, and then you have to do something else because it doesn't fit. So now I've taken one of the offshoots of paper, and I'm going to use that to add just a little bit of something extra. But here I've sidetracked again, and I'm making another pocket for the other side. And so for this other flap, so that's what I'm doing right now. And this is the way I measure, you guys. I just use my pencil and I mark where I need to cut on my paper. I don't take the time to take out a ruler and measure all of that. I used to do that, and after so many mistakes, I just said to heck with that. So I finally got smart and pulled out a smaller trimmer, and I'm using that. But you guys, I'll be honest, I like using my big trimmer because I don't have to worry about if a paper is too big, will it go through the smaller trimmer? So that's why I prefer that. And so now I'm just looking at everything again. And I pulled out this Martha Stewart punch. This is, if not my favorite, one of my favorites. I use this more than the others. I have quite a few. from scrapbooking, but this one is my favorite and I pulled it over into junk journaling. But once you have your paper cut, you always start in the middle of your paper that you're going to cut, and then you line it up and go from either side there, because it'll be off if you try to go from one edge of the paper to punch out. So remember that, just start at the middle and then go to either side. So there's a little tip there for those of you who do not know that. Okay, so what I've done off camera, I went over to my sewing table and I sewed that signature in. I could have just gone with the pamphlet stitch, but I decided to sew it in, felt a little more secure with that, with all the extra little holes in that paper from the Martha Stewart punch piece. So now I'm just gluing everything down, and I've taken one of the offcuts of the file folders, and I wanted to add something different, so that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to add a little pocket that resembles the other file folder piece. And so I'll get all of that glued down, and then when I'm stuffing this pocket, I've just put that there to set it, but that's not, I'm sure that that's not what's going to end up being in that pocket. So here I'm getting ready to cut out, let's see, is it going to be a pocket for my pocket? I think so. I think I'm about to make a pocket for my pocket, you guys. And so this is why I really prefer to measure things, because I'm not as straight a cutter with these scissors. And the longer scissors are better for that. The smaller Tim Holtz scissors are more like for fussy cutting and more detailed work. But so I'm working with it. I'm trying to, because the scissors are quite useful. And so that's why I was trying to use those scissors, but you could tell that I had to go in several times with that. So I backed the paper, the digital paper, that the printout, onto a file folder, because I needed it to be a little more sturdy. Even with the 24-pound paper that I use, it's still not as sturdy as it needs to be. So I like to back my pockets with a file folder, because they're the cheapest thing, and they're very sturdy. So if and whenever I make a video about the essentials to need, I will definitely have to include file folders, you guys. Here I've just used another piece of file folder, and I've I come up with the strangest words, but I've stuck a piece of, it's going to be a long slim tag in there. And now I'm going in with just some more pieces or images. I think one is a booklet from Sharon's digital kit. And so that's what I'm doing right now, just to stuff those pockets with. But like I said, it won't stay that way. I'll probably add something a little more jazzy, a little more, something that stands out a little bit more. And so after I've done every step, I continue to go in and close that up and make sure everything fits. You all have a lovely night, a lovely morning or evening, wherever you are.